I'm joined by film writer and presenter of The Guardian film show, Xan Brooks is with us, film critic Rhianna Dillon, and film critic and author of Woody Allen Film on Film, very good book, Jason Solomons. So initial reactions to the nominations. Rhianna.
Why no Mad Max in Best Film? That's what I'm slightly upset about, because I was really hoping that BAFTA was going to be brave and go for this, you know, slightly younger, really dystopian film. I thought that would really kind of raise the bar.
Xan, what's your initial reaction to all of that?
Well, the two obvious frontrunners, you've got Carol and Bridge of Spies, these two very solid 50s set American films. Both of them, I think, deserved winners. I think maybe Carol is slightly the classier option if I had to kind of choose at this point. I think BAFTA is maybe more likely to go with Carol than, say, the Oscar voters or the Golden Globe voters. But either one, I think, is decent.
OK. Are you pleased, Jason?
I'm pleased. I would have loved to see a British film get into the Best Film category. Again, we've got that BAFTA split of putting the British films just in their British category, not one of them deemed good enough to kind of battle with the big boys, if you like. I am interested in seeing a film like The Big Short, which not many people have seen yet, and is getting a lot of sort of Oscar buzz about it. And it's a big ensemble piece about the banking scandal. And Spotlight, which is also nominated in Best Film, is about a scandal in the Catholic Church. Two very big scandalous kind of campaign-style movies, very different. That's the sort of film that's going to get people kind of watching and interested in, and sort of hot under the collar because they're about stuff. And so you've got what you say, Carol and Bridge of Spies. They're sort of very much in the past. Yeah. These are sort of very current, and I feel that those have got a relevance, a cultural relevance.
I love it when you get passionate, Jason. So which films are missing from Best Film category for you?
Room should have been.
Yeah.
Really should have been.
All agree that
standout films.
And everyone I've spoken to loves Room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well then,
so
why
does
isn't
it?
it? Yeah.
I would actually say Outstanding British Film this year is the equal of Best Film. You've got 45 years, which has been largely shut out. It hasn't quite registered in these nominations as much as I thought it would.
No Charlotte Rampling.
No Charlotte Rampling.
Which we're all surprised about.
I'm also delighted that a documentary has got in town to Outstanding British Film in the form of Asif Kapadi's Amy, which to me is this sort of one surefire nailed-on award winner here. Yeah. Maybe for documentary, maybe for Outstanding British Film.
Saoirse Ronan as well for Brooklyn. She's in there.
Well, should we talk about Brooklyn for a second?
Yeah.
Because everyone loves this film, and it did leave me feeling a little bit cold. I don't really know why. I thought the book was so fantastic in its detail, and actually, I didn't feel the film had enough story or plot to really make me fall in love with it, as everyone around me seemed to be.
OK.
And so I think she's excellent. I think she's always excellent, and she's faultless. But actually, this film, I'm surprised,
not
as loved as it is.
I think it's great that she's here because we sort of BAFTA. We've seen her grow up since Atonement, when she was the little kid in that, Brian Italis, and this film you actually watch her grow up. It's like a time-lapse photograph of a flower blooming. We watch her kind of put the lipstick on. She gets this green dress. I mean, that's what Brooklyn is. It's watching this woman become a woman and make these decisions for herself. And we've actually kind of done that with Saoirse over the years here at BAFTA.
It's going to be a tough category, though, isn't it? I mean, there's some, serious performances.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest category of all.
I think Kate will take it, though. Do you?
Kate Blanchett.
I'm going Saoirse for it.
Really?
I think it's going to be the sort of surprise thing, and I think they've got to give Brooklyn something, and they've got to give something big to Brooklyn because there is this huge public love for the film.
Let's go on to the leading actor category then. Rhianna, what do you think?
I think it is Leonardo DiCaprio's time. You know, he has been nominated. This is his fourth, actually. And maybe it's not necessarily, he's almost doing a Tom Hardy in this. He just grunts his way through the whole film. But I actually really loved that.
I think he does more Tom Hardy than Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy does, quite, exactly. For me, Michael Fassbender or Leonardo DiCaprio.
In agreement there, Jason?
I do think it's Leonardo's time.
Yeah.
I don't know what the award would be for in Revenant, other than just growing a beard, suffering,
he suffers a lot,
lots of suffering, walking, a lot of walking.
He has to drag himself a lot of places.
He's hauling himself on his tummy, eating raw fish.
Fish
it's
and
very
meat,
paleo. I think it's
vegetarian.
absolutely, it's bang on the money for the trend of dieting for 2016. So for that, Leonardo, we thank you.
Let's talk about director category. Sadly, no Danny Boyle for Steve Jobs, no J.J. Abrams for Star Wars, The Force Awakens. In fact, I'm devastated not to see Harrison Ford nominated in Best Supporting Actor because I adore him. That's a big old category there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some big sort of directing egos and talents in there. Adam McKay, I suppose, is the big surprise there for Big Short. He normally does comedy. All these other ones are very kind of beautifulully... I mean, Spielberg is the ultimate craftsman. I think Todd Haynes in Carol is probably my favourite for that category because it is supremely directed. Every choice in there is perfect. perfect, from the costumes to the clasp to the earring to the music. There's a whole artistic vision here that is perhaps too perfect. I think the film sometimes needs to be cold. I think it's beautifully made, and I think that's where Todd Haynes is a wonderful filmmaker.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can join in the conversation about this year's BAFTAs using the hashtag EEBAFTAs. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning.